All right, the weather pattern definitely shifting up, and that's going to bring some severe weather to parts of the country Sunday into Monday, maybe even Tuesday, but it's also going to cool us down too. So some good news on the way for some of you with a little bit of relief from the heat. It's all going to be driven by this trough that's going to be swinging through the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest, also parts of the northern plains. Eventually that will swing into the northeast. It will start to push our temperatures down too. Also, even as far south, I think, as parts of Kansas and Oklahoma. And then that cool air works its way into the east by the end of the week. So dropping our temperatures back here a little bit. I mean, we're not looking at a super significant cool down, but I would just say maybe some relief from this July heat. Across the west, though, our upper ridge continues to just hold here. And then as we head into next week, we're watching another trough that tries to swing through the northeast. That could bring another round of severe weather maybe into next weekend. We're still pretty far out on that, though. The rainfall amount over the next couple of days, look how it's really spotty and scattered. That's just the nature of these thunderstorms. Also across the east, especially in some areas that need some rain, there is potential there. It doesn't mean we're all going to see rain. Drought monitor still pretty high here, especially in areas of Virginia down into North Carolina, even now Tennessee, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama. It's getting drier here, so many of these areas starting to see an increase here on the drought monitor. There is a chance, again, though, of some rain over the next 7 days, so that is some good news. However, that also comes with the risk of some severe weather. Today, we're watching Ohio, all the way northwest into parts of Iowa, and then here across the northern plains. The potential for some strong damaging winds, some hail, and yes, a few tornadoes possible. It's not a high risk, but it's not a zero threat either. So that's something to keep an eye on. And then as we head into Monday, from Michigan back into Iowa again with another round potentially developing. Let's time some of this out as we head through the afternoon. We'll start to see this area really become unstable from Ohio back into Indiana, even Illinois, as far east as Pennsylvania and New York, I think. Now, the strongest risk is going to be here across Ohio, Illinois, and Indiana. As we head into the afternoon, some of these cells here, especially across northern Ohio and Indiana, could start to pulse up and get strong. Again, an isolated tornado can't be completely ruled out. And some of these segments may start to bow. You can kind of see the nature here. Another complex trying to show up here on some of these short-range models here back across parts of Illinois, and then that drops south. This is more of a linear lineup, I guess, so to speak, so damaging winds looking possible with this second complex that drops south overnight, and then it weakens early Monday morning, and then some showers now moving through the Great Lakes into parts of New York and Pennsylvania. Heading into Monday, we do it again, this time a little bit further to the west and maybe a little bit further south, so watch out here across southern parts of Ohio, but really the threat, at least the strongest risk, is going to be back here across parts of Indiana, Illinois, back through Iowa, and maybe even as far north as Michigan and Wisconsin. A little bit of a different look here. This will take you through Sunday. We also have got to watch these storms here across North Dakota that will eventually swing over into parts of Minnesota into early Monday morning. Now, some of the models keep these pretty strong. I think that they will have a tendency to weaken, especially early on Monday morning, and then we'll see a resurgence of these storms or what's left of that complex going into Monday afternoon and Monday evening. So that could be a long-lived round of thunderstorms, really moving from North Dakota, eventually dropping into parts of Illinois, Indiana, and that kind of really starts to wash out as we head into early Tuesday morning. Now, high temperatures, again, will be kicked back a little bit as we move through the week. Take a look at these numbers on Sunday in the 90s in many areas. Triple-digit heat on into Monday, too, possible across parts of Virginia, down into North Carolina, maybe even in parts of eastern PA. But look what happens as we move through the week. The trend will be for temperatures to cool off. However, it doesn't look like it's going to last, unfortunately. The heat will probably return heading into next week. Triple-digit heat, again, expected here across the Central Plains states, not just today, but into Monday. But look how that gets squelched down as we head through the week. We see at least numbers, triple digits, translate back to mid-80s. So definitely feeling a little better here. And across Texas, we're back into the 90s. We'll take 90s after multiple days of triple digits here. So some cooler weather on the way, and also some drier weather that will help it feel a little cooler here, or I should say some drier air, especially across at least areas north of this. You can see that push of, this is dew points. This is the push of that dry air pushing all the way, maybe even down into parts of Oklahoma and Texas. Again, at least giving us some relief, but look what happens as we head into next week. We have our high here off the East Coast, return flow kind of coming like this, so we start to bring that moisture back up into the continental U.S., so it starts to get humid all the way up to the Canadian border, so the humidity and heat will likely return next week. It's July. It is what it is. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. See you next time.